I nearly didn't buy this because I thought it was £14,000. There's no way I'm spending that sort of money on any piece of sim equipment. When I found out it was only 1400, I knew I had to get it. So let me take you through the whole story. How I ended up with the QS BT1, my first impressions, and how it helped me win my first race. What started this journey off was watching one of my favourite YouTubers, Race Beyond Matter. I'll put a link in the description to his YouTube channel. I'll also put a link to one of his videos, which is the sickest sim rig setup I've ever seen. You have to go and check that out. Anyway, the video I was watching of his was his review of the QS BT1 belt tensioner system, and he does a much better job than me of doing reviews. But let's face it, I'm sure you'll agree, that's not difficult to do.
It is important for me to not overreact, but I really feel like I have to make that powerful statement. After 2 decades of experiencing the evolution of the sim gear, this is the second time my mind is fully blown away. And whenever I sit down and think about it, I still refuse to believe what I'm experiencing.
So after watching Race Beyond Matter's video on the QS BT1, I was really interested. Had a look on Google, found it on Demon Tweaks, and my brain for some reason registered the price as £14,000. And that was the end of that. So flicking through Discord one day as you do, I came across a thread in Boosif Motorsport. I'll put a link in the description to his Discord group. There they were discussing motion systems, and the belt tensioning system got a mention. So I commented that I would love one, but no way I was spending £14,000 on one. Boosif replied that they weren't £14,000, they were only £1,400. Didn't quite believe it because like I said before, I remembered it being £14,000. Quick search on Google, sure enough, they were £1,400. It didn't take very long for me to add it to a basket and click buy. So while waiting for the QS BT1 to arrive, I started watching a few more videos, more reviews, how to fit it, etc. And I came to realise I had a problem. My current seat, the GT Amiga RS12, although it had holes in the backrest for belts, it didn't have a hole in the seat for the straps to come through. Asking a few people, yes, I could have got around it with that same seat, but I decided to buy another one. I'm so glad I did. More on that later. So which seat to buy? As I had GT Amiga before, I had a look on their website and they do a seat called the Inertia bucket seat. Having a look at it, seemed it would work really well, so bought one of those as well. And then another thing that came around that I would need was an actual harness, because the belt tensioner itself doesn't come with one. So again, trawling through Google, some forums, decided on a Saybelt 6-point system. So ordered that. And so now I'm waiting for 3 things to arrive. After a few days of waiting, the QS BT1 arrived, as did the harness, shortly followed by the GT Amiga Inertia bucket seat. It was then time to get everything installed on the rig. First job was to remove the RS12 seat I had installed, which was a bit of a pain because the bolts holding it to the actual rig are underneath the seat and you can't slide the seat far enough back to get to them. So that was a bit of a faff, but we got there. Next was fitting the new slider mechanism to the bottom of the GT Amiga Inertia's bucket seat and bolting it to the rig. Now onto the BT1 belt tensioner system itself, which was really easy to mount. It just bolts onto the back of the rig. So far installing the new gear was pretty straightforward, but then came time to fit the harness. Attaching the belts to the belt tensioning system was pretty straightforward. They just clamped to the small belts that came out of the top of the motor. Attaching it to the rig, however, that wasn't quite so simple.
Oh my god.
After much adjusting where the bolts actually fit to the rig and adjusting the belts themselves, it was complete and I just couldn't wait to jump in and try it out. Here's the video of my first time in the GT Amiga Inertia bucket seat using the BT1 belt tensioning system on ACC. Enjoy. Wow, it's a snug fit. I could move my camera a little bit so you could see a bit more. We'll adjust that afterwards. I just want to get my face for the first reaction. Right, so just finished fitting. All seems to be in. I think it's all configured. I can feel some vibration. Oh yes, I can feel engine vibration. Don't know if I like the engine vibration or the gear changes. This is fucking awesome. I might need to tighten my seatbelt a little bit. My seat isn't quite in the right place. It needs to go forward one click, but oh my god. Can't describe what this feels like. I'd imagine if this was in VR, it would be awesome. So you've got the rumble of the engine, which is really cool. I have got it thumping on acceleration. I'm just trying to close my eyes just to imagine. Might turn that off. I've got all the other stuff turned off. So I've got, you get to feel the acceleration, braking, the lack of acceleration, and G-force, where it tightens one belt at a time. Not really getting that effect at the minute. Oh yes, I am. Okay, yeah. Man, this is so cool. Oh, I love it. Well worth the pain putting it all in. Never mind the cost, it was a fucking pain in the arse to fit. And you have to excuse the state of me, I've been busy getting it all done, the final touches. Crawling around underneath my rig. Oh, but I love it. It is fucking awesome. Ah. I want to start to feel this G-force around the corner. Yeah, I might need to turn that effect up. Can feel it, but it's subtle. I think it should feel a bit more. But I don't know. That is so cool. Oh, mate. Oh, first impressions, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well worth the money. If you think of getting one, just get it. It's awesome. So how did my first competitive race go? Pretty well, I'd say. I managed first place in silver class by some considerable margin. Now, was this solely due to the seat and the belt tensioning system? No. But do I think it contributed? Oh yes, very much so. Does it make you a better sim racer? Well, the combination of being held firmly in place by the inertia seat and the 6-point harness, braking is much easier to be consistent, so I would say yes it does. I was happy with my previous setup, but using these has just highlighted how much flex my old seat had, which would have made braking consistent much more harder. So what are my final thoughts on the QS BT1? Well, it's very easy to install, just a case of bolting it to your profile rig. The 6-point harness, however, well, that can be a little bit tricky and time consuming to get it fitted correctly. It's very easy to set up, no configuration needed at all, and it works with all the sim racing titles I use: ACC, AMS2, LMU, and even AC Evo. Plus I'm sure it does many others. Is it worth the money? Well, that's pretty subjective. I think so. Should you get one? If you can afford it and you want the next level immersion, hell yes. If you do get one, feel free to ask me any questions. I'll happily help you out. If you like this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already, and give that bell icon a click so you get notified of my future uploads. And also, if you hit the like button for me, it really helps the YouTube algorithm so this gets shown to more people. Let me know in the comments below, are you thinking of getting a QS BT1 or a GT Amiga inertia seat? Or have you got one or both already? What are your thoughts? Until next time, bye!